That would be funny though. I mean, technically though, if you do it right, you could, and depending on how bad it is, you could probably repair a radiator with epoxy. Wouldn't say it's impossible. Doesn't seem very fucking practical, but you know, I could say it'd be impossible. You just have to really know what you're fucking doing though. Like, if you just gotta patch a few small holes with it, I think you could do it. So I think I'm coming back up to the coast. Good luck. Try not to get hurt again. Or freeze again. Probably, I imagine you got to the iceberg by swimming. So good luck if you have to swim back. Try not to freeze to death. Man, you just gotta prepare. You gotta make sure you get a waterproof bag and just do it like you did on the mall or on the Molsk. Neheim was our map. Get all the. I mean, I'm sure you probably did that too, but like have enough supplies to make a couple of fires, depending on how far you plan on being out there. Ooh, another industrial area. We might be able to find our radiator, or not radiator, but a spark plug. What I really fucking need right now, though, is a goddamn freaking water source, because holy shit. Like, I've seen one spring so far. I mean, it's almost like putting a fire on an iceberg isn't a good idea. You know, it's almost like fire and ice don't work well together, especially once ice starts to melt. You know. See, really, you're just setting yourself up for failure with that one. You have no one to blame but yourself for trying to do that. That was a non-feathered crossbow bolt. In the face. I'll be with you in a moment. Bitch, you're still alive? Oh, this is bad, actually. Fucking it up! Fucking Karen. Just die already. Now that you're infected by an alien space bug, your time has come. I think I lost a bolt somewhere. How many do I have in my inventory? Yeah, I lost a lot of bolts somewhere. Oh, there's one. I got the one off you. I got the one off the you. I guess that's all I got left. I have to make some more non-good bolts soon. Which means I have to get real up and close and personal with some of these infected here in a little bit. Yeah, I'll say, well, I'm not the best PvPer on DayZ. I would tout that I'm very good at surviving infected attacks in a very chaotic manner. I would say that's where my strengths, I say, would lie. I mean, it's totally in a joking way, but it's like the greased up deaf guy from Family Guy. I mean, yeah, I handle myself better. I have a fucking crossbow. I can at least fight back. You know, imagine if the greased up deaf guy from Family Guy had a gun to fight back with. Be a whole different game competition. At the work retreat. No, but when it comes to actually PvP though, like I am actually dog shit. Like that's not me being hard on myself, that's just factual truth. That's just factual truth. Like I get like my anxiety just shoots through the roof and I start panicking, and panicking does not go well. I would say I'm capable of PvP. I just don't like to do it because I don't like the anxiety and panic it actually puts me through IRL. Like, that's why, like, I try to play my characters as the kind of person that I try to make deals with everyone, hostile or friendly, to give myself the best opportunity to not be caught in a situation where I have to fight people unless I absolutely have to. You can call it gear fear too, but it's like I don't want to die because I don't want to lose my shit. You know, and I'm also the kind of person, if I can talk my way out of it, I'm gonna sure as fuck try to talk my way out of it. To at least only lose some of the stuff. Fuck yes, thank you, game. Give me some more down jacket. Just what I needed. Can actually make good crossbow bolts again. This game knows that I'm down on my luck. it's like, okay, so I won't say I don't like the adrenaline rush, but for me, like it morphs from adrenaline. If I manage to survive the scenario and, you know, win the gunfights and stuff like that, granted, I would have to be part of a party to even try to attempt one. And if I win, fuck, I'll feel on cloud 9 because, like, dude, did you see what we fucking did there, man? We fucking crushed that shit. But it's like, I mean, it's like I'm not gonna say I'm a sore loser, but at the same time, it's like if I die, it's like I start getting critical of myself, saying, okay, what could I have done better? Like, where did I fuck up at that put me in a position where, like, was I not watching my flanks properly? Was I not, you know, being aware of this, you know, the situation around me? Like, where did I fuck up at? So like, I'm very critical of myself when it comes to some of that stuff, you know, which kind of just adds to the anxiety and the thing. So if I can keep myself, I mean, don't get me wrong, I get anxious if I'm confronted by someone in game that's trying to be hostile to me. Like, I get fucking anxiety there, but it's like, it makes me feel better if I can talk my way out of it. Because at least I feel like that's more of a success than... Because while I will not deny that there is some strategy, you know, and there is some skill involved in PvP on the server, there's also, to me personally, a healthy bit of luck involved too. Like, you can try to math it out. It's like, this is probably what's like, this is what they're gonna do and all that stuff, but you honestly don't know for sure. Like, you're thinking like you're trying to think, especially if you have like a background kind of like I do. It's like you're trying to think in a tactical way of like, all right, so this is what we got to do. This is the best way to counteract this. And then, you know, a lot of people you see PvPing like are just fucking psychos and don't do what you would consider as standard or what it makes sense when you're in a firefight situation. So it's like, and that's where I kind of the question is like, okay, what did I do wrong? And you could have very well done everything right from a tactical standpoint, but you're going to be questioning, all right, what did I miss? Like, what did I miss? Where did it go wrong? What could we have done differently to make sure that the odds were in our favor and not theirs? And sometimes it just comes down to when you look at the scenario and just kind of run your head through it all, it's like they just played in a very psychotic fucking manner. Like, they played a ballsy fucking move that you would never do in real life. And that too, like, I mean, I know I've seen from like looking at reports and stuff like that, I've watched some people that like I've saw like some people the firefight reports and stuff like that. Sometimes it's like, no, actually I'll pick that up. You watch them and it's like, bro, that guy just made like an unreal fucking, like, he's not even aiming down his sights and he's still smoking people. Like you're trying to like figure out like what the fuck is going on. Guess it doesn't want me to have the smoking pipe. I'm a 61-year-old guy. It would make sense for me to have a smoking pipe. I can cash one for another time. Yeah, it's like the guys, like seeing some of the people that just can go around and shoot, that can go around and just like shoot, aim down sights, even from a relatively like hip firing from a distance that doesn't make sense and still managing. I mean, granted, you can tell that they're watching where the bullet's hitting on, and if they got a backdrop or whatever, they kind of hone themselves in. But it's like still the fact that they're able to hip fire from a distance that makes no sense whatsoever. It's like, that's how you know that person's like fucking cracked at PvP, when they can, you know, do that. But like, I much prefer the anxiety and rush from trying to talk my way out of a situation more than getting into a firefight. Because, I mean, anyone can get into a firefight, but not everyone can have the social ability to talk their way out of potentially losing everything only to end up losing something or a few things. It's a lot of fucking infected, holy shit. Of course, it was a shitty crossbow. I mean, for example, kind of using real life as an example, I was sergeant and a staff sergeant when I was in the military, and a lot of pictures that people have as sergeants is they're kind of dicks sometimes, or they're always looking for a reason, you know, to smoke someone, make them do push-ups or do whatever random shit. But being in the guard, you're only doing military duty one weekend out of the month. Sometimes longer depending on what your training schedule looks like, but you don't know exactly, because not everyone wants to communicate, like wants to talk about what's going on in their real life, because it's personal. And some people want to keep what they do in the military separate from what they are doing at home. So like you would have people that would, you know, have reasons for being late, and sometimes they're bullshit fucking reasons, but it was enough that there would be some NCOs that, you know, just saw that as a reason, and I don't want to say excuse, but saw it as a reason. That's like, all right, well, you fucked up, now I've got to do paperwork, and now I'm gonna make your life a living fucking hell because you made my life hell and you made the platoon sergeant's life hell, because they have to try to answer to the commander, yada yada yada, all this shit. My leadership style, I would compare more to recognizing that, you know, we're not we're full-time military, but we're not like paid full-time. We only have to show up for work 1 week in a month, 3 to 4 days, or 2 to 3 days, and at minimum 1 week in a month, and then 2 weeks in the summer or whatever time of year. And that's all duty that you have to do, unless you get to go to some schools, or your unit's on a cycle where you're having to put extra training in, and you know you have the budget to do it and all that stuff. But being that, like, yes, we're military, but we're also living a civilian life too. So, you know, shit happens in civilian life. And if I had a guy, I mean, I had numerous people in my teams over the years that, you know, they would show up late, or I could tell that they were stressed out, or, you know, they're just like disconnecting from what they were supposed to be doing and all sort of stuff. And rather than, you know, punish them right away or get pissed at them right away, it's like, why were you fucking late again, sort of thing. My leadership style was I would try to talk to them first, like, hey, let me know what's happening, that way I can try and help you, because you're kind of getting on, you know, the shit list here, and I want to make sure that you're, thank God I found fucking water, you know, you're still on a good standard. You know, I want to try to do what I can from my end, talking to whoever I need to talk to make sure that when you come to drill, your real life is squared away. Like, you don't have to worry about real life. You can focus on what your job is for that weekend, all the training we have to do, all that stuff. And I had good results with trying to talk to people. There were some people that are having job issues, or especially if they owned their own, you know, business or whatever, and they're having staffing issues and all that stuff. Like, you know, you could tell that it was taking a toll on them, and it was causing them to, you know, slack their military duty stuff. So I would try to work with them at first, like, okay, well, let's talk to platoon sergeant, see if we can't find out something that we can do to help accommodate you without making it seem like we're, you know, giving you favor or whatever sort of thing. So let's try to help you get your real life squared away. If there's anything, because we have a lot, like when you're in the guard, you have access to a lot of resources that could help someone in the real life. Like if they need a little bit extra help paying bills that month, there's resources, there's some programs that you can do that. If you're having issues trying to find someone to watch your kids, if say your significant other is, you know, working that and they can't, you know, you can't find, like we can find places to help you. Jeez, can you put the plastic bottle back in your bag? You know, like try our best to like help them where we can. And that's what my primary goal would be. And then I would also let them know, like, even if I knew I had real life stuff going on, I would always tell them, like, hey, if you need anything, like, call me, let me know. That way I can kind of pass it up the chain. If there's something I can't help you with directly at that point, or have the information you need right then and there, I can pass it up to the platoon sergeant and they can pass it higher. And, you know, stuff can be done to try to, you know, help you out. So you're not, so when you come to drill, you're able to focus and you're able to do what we're there to do, which is, you know, work and train and all that stuff. And so I would give them as many chances as I possibly could before it got to the point where it's like, okay, I'm not doubting that you're still having problems, but now you're just abusing my niceness. Like I was that kind of person that was kind of known. It's like, if I ever got to the point where I had to smoke people, you really, really, really fucked up. Like, I did not like smoking people because I thought it's, especially as a leader, it's like especially as a leader, and especially when it's one of your team members, like you're just making them resent you, which means they're not gonna want to, you know, I guess make your life easier, which I mean they're not supposed to, but it's like they're gonna maybe go out of their way to, you know, be a problem, and that's the last thing you want. So it's like the goal would be to, you know, try to make sure your team is on your side or you're on their side. That way they trust you and know that you have their back because you've been helping them throughout the month or whatever, or doing what you can on your end to get them help whatever they need. So that was the kind of leader I was. Like I did very real. I mean, I got pissed at a lot of people. There's a couple guys, like I had some people on my teams in the past that were like, you know, always showing up late, having some stupid excuses for it, or if they had a reasonable excuse, they were getting to the point where they were abusing it. And like I would try to bend over backwards to vouch for them and say, hey, like, you know, we're working on it, we're trying to get them in the right spot, it's just taking a little bit of extra effort, but we're hopefully going to get them squared away like soon. So I mean, long story short, I was the kind of person I would try to work through it first, so that I can't help root out what the cause of, like the root of the problem is, and then if necessary go the more I want to say extreme route, but go the more I actually have to be an NCO right now and you're not gonna like it route. Well, again, I mean, I just kind of, what I'm trying to tie this whole circle to is I prefer to talk things out rather than take immediate action, because I mean, people maybe deny it as much as they want, but it's like, if you're having a bad day in the real world and you get on DayZ to try to relax, until you get to that relaxed point where you're, you know, neutral again, like there is potential that you might take real life into in-game and treat people like shit, and you may not intend to. It's just you're still in that kind of headspace. So like I really just want to shoot them all, but I have no more crossbow bolts. But that's just me. Long story short, I try to be a good guy. And when it comes to RP, I like to talk things through rather than immediately jump to violence. Because one, if I talk through, there was a lot of them sitting here and stuff, and I didn't realize there was that many. And again, I'm out of crossbow bolts, so we are a bit and would like you to do. I also had a flashlight out, so I'm gonna assume that they kind of got aggroed by that too. No, but thankfully the infected on this server don't go absolutely batshit fucking insane at night. I need 20, so I got 36, 7. $14. $21. Give them something to... Give them something to focus on over there. So we still need to break up sticks. Just stay quiet. Stop running, Carl. Where? 4. Where'd those gloves go? Don't want to lose those gloves. I wouldn't have had to mess with him if he didn't come out on my turf.